Moving on to the operation items, can I have a motion for C1, approval of change order 002?
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Dr. Cohen, seconded by Mrs. Shaw. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Moving on to item C2, can I have a motion for approval of change orders 016 and 017?
So moved.
So moved by Mrs. Shaw, seconded by Dr. Cohen. Any discussion? Mr. McAvoy.
While we're on the subject of the high school gym, it's come to my attention via community members that there was, the opening of the gym on Saturday with the girls' game, and then on, was it Tuesday? Tuesday was the
Tuesday
St.
night.
Joseph's game, packed house. The energy was incredible, and I felt like I was being attacked. Not that I can't handle that, but there was this complaint about, and it was from three different people. Oh, the bleachers are so small, and I just didn't want to volley back the reasons why the bleachers
Right.
have been changed, because there were so many people there. So I'm asking you, Dr. Valesky, to inform the public why we have what we have
Right.
with regard to bleachers.
Well, there are a couple of things. There are the constraints, the actual physical limitations have changed because of handicapped accessibility. The community will notice if they go to the gymnasium, there are actually ramps and areas for handicapped accessibility within the stands, which consumes or takes away from some available seating. Also, the height of the bleachers and the position of that last bleacher, which sits closest to the playing surface on the gymnasium, there are certain limitations we can go to, and that defines how big the bleacher gets to be. So those factors really define the available seats left within that configuration.
And how about the factor with regard to the walkways? We now have
Right.
walkways
Right.
in
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4 different sections of the bleachers,
Right.
making it very convenient to walk up versus you had to
Stepping
be,
over people.
you know, it was a very precarious movement
Right.
you had to do, going around people,
Right.
you could have slipped. We don't, and that's another
And
one.
the community might notice too, that in those walkways, there are railings that assist people going up, and actually a spacing between the bleacher seats, which are now contoured and very comfortable to sit in, versus the actual, the former bleachers we had, which were the wooden plank type bleachers. The actual spacing between the back of the seat and the front of the seat to the rear of it is a little bit more, so people have a little more comfort and flexibility to get in to a row when people are sitting there.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson.
That's right. Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. May I have a motion for item C3, bid awards, student transportation services, school-related activity?
So moved.
So moved by Dr. Cohen, seconded by Mrs. Shaw. Any discussion?
$25,000 to get to graduation, huh? Wow. Can't have mom and dad drive them down, huh?
They could walk if they left the day before. We could have school end a
How
day
about
early.
graduation on the football field?
Not air-conditioned, man.
Hey, toughen up, Mrs. Clifford.
It is a well-oiled machine when those buses start rolling up.
It certainly is. Matter of fact, it's rather frightening if
Yeah,
if you're
Yeah.
trying to get a parking place.
Yeah, I just followed one of the buses and then just got right in.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for item C4, contract awards enrichment programs?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw, seconded by Dr. Cohen. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Okay. Item C5. Can I have a motion for approval of school psychology professional diploma program agreement with Kean University?
So moved.
Moved by Dr. Cohen, seconded by Mrs. Shaw. Any discussion?
I'm pretty sure that the backup information for this actually indicated one student who would be going through this program. When we enter into this agreement, are we entering into an agreement just for this one student to go basically get an internship here? Or will there be other students who will be able to do that?
That was my question, too.
Daniel, Mr. Ruggieri, I was going to answer that question.
One of the side effects of being the school district that we are is that we get hundreds of requests for interns, student teachers, observers, et cetera, a year. The school psychology and speech language teacher internships are more intense than the others and require agreements between colleges and school districts to ensure that the students interning get everything they need in order to meet the state licensing credentials.
Yeah, I mean, don't they require like a full year?
Some programs require a full year and some require a half a year at the college and a half a year in a school district, depending on which area of either psychology or speech that the candidate wants to enter. These, I drive Mr. Giuliana crazy with, and Mr. Giacobbe with these agreements, because there are certain things in them that we can't adhere to. For example, an out-of-state college sent us one that said, we will abide by Pennsylvania law. We can't, we're in New Jersey. So it requires a lot of tweaking. Once we have this agreement with Kane, it would then allow us to use the same agreement for a similar type of intern. So the process is usually a one and then smooth afterward. This is one particular student who is very appealing to us because of the candidate's credentials. And I hope that answers your question. I know it's a little long-winded.
So the advantage of going into these agreements is we actually open the door and other candidates may follow along
Yes.
after that agreement's been established.
Well, first, we're a very nurturing profession, so we're giving back. But we are very particular about the people we accept into our district to intern.
And you'll still be able to maintain that type of control,
Oh, for sure.
even though,
Yes.
you know,
We,
Kane University may be proposing that's, you know, X student
What
does
the
their-
colleges want to do is ensure that we're going to provide the right type of experiences under the properly credentialed district employee. What's great about these agreements is we get the best and the brightest hooked on our district early on, so that when we have vacancies, they tend to want to come and work here. But also that they bring with them the most current information that's being talked about, the most current research. And it's really like a two-way share of information. It's beneficial to both parties. It's exciting.
But in the bottom line is that it will not be limited to just one student intern.
No.
This opens the door to
That's right.
any number of appropriate placements.
Exactly. For that college, yes, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Danny. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Can I have a motion for item C6, approval of 2015-2016 contract for participation in cooperative transportation?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Shaw, second by Dr. Cohen. Any discussion? Mrs. Shaw.
Why are we interested in transportation with Gloucester County?
This is, I'm going to say this is related to an out-of-district placement. And so it would behoove us to utilize the services of the Gloucester Educational Services Commission.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, the Special Services District.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried.